This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Yeah. So we discussed Binshell, pre-processor, post-processor, sampler. What is the difference between sampler and post-processor? Sampler and post-processor. Sheila,
Sir,
What is it?
I didn't
the-
understand the question, sir.
no, no. What is the difference between sampler and post-processor?
Post processor is after the request it will gives a sampler is just a simple controller
It's a request.
request.
Okay. When I have to
Mm.
do in the request side level, I have to do the request part. Okay. Now let's see Binshell timer and Binshell assertion.
मीठा सीठा कुछ ना।
Okay, I'm not getting code. Let me write down. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so why not is Binshell whenever there is a custom requirement and there is no suitable component available in JMeter, then we'll go to this thing and write. Okay, so now my requirement is let's open any existing thing. Okay, let's put this manually one. Okay, so now if I want to add the timer based on randomness or constant, what I'll do simply I can add constant timer or Gaussian random timer, right? No, but I want to generate the time based on my user input. Whatever users ramp up I'm giving, right? I want to generate the time on this. So we don't have any component available, no? So what we'll do, simple write a bin shell timer. So right click, add timer, bin shell timer. See, this is a blank screen. So this always will be a blank screen. We have to write a code over here. So now apply a timer to create, right? So if I run the script, the gap will be applied at, applied between which two requests?
Users and create.
Users and create. Because timer will always execute in the order of sample, right? Now let's
Mm.
say. Okay, so we have one keyword here. The keyword here is the sleep. So if you sleep and sleep as a keyword, then it will wait that much of time. So let's test for purpose. Let's put sleep and just put not sleep. Let me redirect to sleep. Just put like control H. So this is one keyword only. You have to write a formula code whatever to get that one here. I think sleep only, no? Let me correct. And you have to go through this website as well, Performatrix. You will get a much more information as well. Okay. So I'm just pinging you this one as well. You have to go through this log. Let's see a keyword. I'm looking for that keyword. What is that keyword I'm looking at? Hmm. You didn't get anything. They just given information on the Geomet website. Okay, let's run with sleep only. Work around. We'll see. Okay, let me give 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Right. Let's see whether it's applicable or not. So, what is the component to get the individual times? I will add results table. Hmm. Okay. Let me stop it. Let me put first one by one. Hmm. It takes me immediately, right? 169. Seems like it immediately. It's not having the 2 seconds delay. So it's not keyword. Just let me recheck again. Ah, sorry. I need to use return sleep. Sleep only. It is return sleep. Let's see. Yeah, return sleep. Let's see now. Hmm. RET array. RETURN return sleep. Hmm. Still we're getting error here in the down. Let's see what is that error. Command not found. Sleep int. It's a string. Now I'm getting a still error. Let's look the same code. Okay. Acha, sleep is assigned already. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Let's run this now. Hmm. Okay, we're not getting error. If you see, what is the time difference? 36 and 39, 3 second difference, right? So what we did actually, we just simply define some like 3000 and we're passing it. So main thing is you have to remember this one. Return sleep is a keyword here. Okay. So now to get this sleep now, you can do any formula. Here simply defined here like it's constant timer only, right? But in the real time, let's use that things. So how we will copy the same code. Okay, so what they have given, right? So they're getting the from thread count and ramp up period. Okay, and they are doing some logic here and they're passing that based on whatever the logic, right? Now let's me. huh, Okay, so here no, I will put this as a blanks count equal to some 3000. Amp up is 1000. That's an understanding, right? I'm just commenting out there. You will get from outside. Where should get, right? Now if run and sleep, yeah, we got some errors here. What is that error? Thread count. So very careful with these errors only. Once you solve the errors, then only you can understand. Ramp up, float, pass, wind. That's the only problem is I mean, it's very difficult to understand the errors. You have to slowly go through line by line, like multiple times, then only you can understand. So it says inline countation at where it got stopped. It got stopped at float V. Oh, okay. We are getting the arcs here. Okay. So what is we are getting the bean shell dot arcs, right? 0. Where we are giving, we are not giving now. So let's give 6,000 here. Okay. Let's see. Let's give 1,000. Yeah. Now let's see. Okay, it worked. Now it's see. It sleep is for 66. Like we printed now this statement logged it in for sleep this seconds. So now we are printing for 667 seconds. Okay. So I'll stop the script. It's very long, right? 667. Now understood, right? Initial timer. So initial preprocessor post process sampler is normal one. You can use any code to get that value, but initial timer you have to use the return sleep. Otherwise, it won't work. So you have to get the sleep anyway, like based on your formula calculations, whatever the logic you want to apply, you can do get that number and pass that return sleep. Okay, this is a bean shell timer. So let's go to bean shell assertion. Okay, let's take a new one. So what assertions will do? Famous assertions.
Mm, Assertions. Taking
Yeah,
like
Sheila.
maybe status code or anything, some value in the return response.
Okay, Sheila.
Yeah, assertion, sir. We validate the request, like me true or false by using true or false
Yeah, whether we are getting our expected output or not,
output.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So assertion what we have seen, we have asserted response code, response message, response data,
Yes.
right? We have used JSON path.
Mm.
Okay, that's our normal one.
Yeah.
Now let's
Yes,
say
sir.
I have two requests and I want to compare the two requests. So can we do that with existing assertion?
Comparison, no, sir.
No, right? Or see, I'm
No.
getting my website is display date. Whenever
Yeah.
every time user logins, it displays date. So I want to assert the date. Can I assert? Because see, if I put a date, today's date, and it will pass today. If I run the same script today, tomorrow,
Mm.
it will
No,
fail,
it
no?
will not.
Because my assertion is today's date,
Today's date.
right? So these things are like, I mean, not straight away, right?
Mm.
So we have to use a coding concept here. That's why we call bean shell assertion. So in the same way, bean shell assertion also it needed two keywords. Okay. So let's see first one by one. So let me add red red group, add sampler, HTTP request one two. Okay. Let me add. Okay. So okay, we haven't covered sampler. So we'll discuss there. Yes. Add listener. So let's see assertion. Okay, I'm getting some data. Uh, so let's use pet store swagger, proper example. Store swagger. Hmm, let's use this one. Okay, we got some data here. So I want to compare. Let's take my any ID here, first ID or something, right? So I want to know whether I'm getting ID in the first response, same in the second response or not. Okay. So if I'm not getting, then I need to fail it. So till now, the post pass sample, what we did, they have whatever code they executed, they written it. I mean, they executed, right? They are not changing any elements side. Correct. Now here in the bean cell assertion, we have few components. So let's add a bean cell assertion to request to add assertion bean cell assertion. Okay. So if you remember here, we have a read and write data keywords. I mean, this script will accept these keywords only. Okay. The first thing is a failure message and failure. Let's say for example, I'll tell you, I will write if, sorry, string a equal to gmeter. I'll write string b equal to Java. So
Sir, one question.
yeah.
So in the bean cell assertions, right, we can use, you said Java or Groovy scripting.
Mm.
So we don't need to mention explicitly what kind of script it is. It can
No,
just
in the
take
bean,
anything.
yeah. No, in the bean shell by default, it will accept bean shell language only. It's kind of Java, you can say. Okay. But to use Groovy, right, we have one more component. That's I'll cover next one. It's called same like bean shell, na? Everywhere you will see JSR. Same as
Oh,
like bean shell,
JSON.
you will see JSR.
Okay.
JSR
Okay, okay.
here would get options.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Not
fine,
able
fine.
to add. Yeah, in that,
Continue.
yeah, we'll in the next class. I mean, we'll discuss. So in that, we'll get option Groovy or Java like that.
Oh,
So,
oh,
but
okay,
in a
sir.
bean shell, default you can write Java or bean shell like that as it is.
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah. So let's say I want to no, I want to my fail my request to if both are equal. Sorry, both are no, equal. If not, I want to pass it. So what I will do, right? Simply if a string equals a equals equals of b. Okay, if both are equal, then I want to make failure equal to, this is a keyword you have to remember here. Failure equal to true. Failure equal to false. It got a blue color, right? Okay, or else not equal. No, then what I say failure equal to true. It means whenever this assertion reads failure equal to true, so immediately it will make this as a failed. No, let's see. See, it failed, right? Whatever because condition says it failed, and there is no message. I'll tell you why it is failed because uh, yeah, they both are not equal, right? So it will come to this condition, else condition, right? So in else condition, what I have given failure equal true. This is a keyword here, failure equal true. So whenever what are the code you can write like comparison, date, anything at the end, whenever ever expected and actual is not passing, just call this method failure equal to true. Okay, and now we are not getting the failure message, right? Why it is failing? So you can write failure message, failure message equal to you can write um, huh, JMeter and Java are not equal. Some text. Let's see. Okay, we got it. And if you say we got message. No, we didn't get the message. Something assertion error, false, assertion failure, true.
Failure, spelling mistake, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah. FAILURE. Yeah. Okay, so you got the message. Okay, but this is hard coded, right? Now, sorry, this is value is hard code, but I want to get based on response, no? So how to extract the response? What is the way? I want to extract some variable from the response. So what is the way?
Regular expression.
Extractor. So first you have to regular expression extractor, right? So for before regular expression extractor, we have to fix out no the expression, right? So let's put regular expression tester. I'll put a simple one. ID equal to dot plus question mark test. We get anything on. Okay. Let's take we'll go from this one we'll take match number one only. Okay, but we are not considering we are considering assertions, right? So we'll do like that. Add post processor, regular expression extractor, expression, let's say ID one, template, $1, match number one. Okay. Now same thing I need to apply for my request also, right? Here I will put ID2. Okay, now we have two variables, ID1, ID2. Now I want to compare ID1, ID2. Based on that only, I want to pass or fail my request. Okay, now we are done. We got ID1, ID2. Now how to send? We have to send that inside, right, to compare, right? So I have
Where,
to do that.
where
Where's dot get.
what to
So I'll
get.
define string dot a equal to where's dot get. First is what is on ID1. Semicolon is very very important. Okay, same as like second one where's dot get ID2. Right? So to confirm whether we are getting or not, right, we'll print it. So to print, we use log.info. Log.info, I'll write understand ID1 is yes, ID1 here and semicolon. What is the variable I defined here? That should be I need to write ID1 same as for ID2. To get to know, right, whether we really getting the inside values or not. This is like how we do in the real time based on our scenarios. Just have to change the variables. Okay, now let's see. Okay, if you see here, both is wide we're getting. Right? See, ID1 is wide, ID1 is so something wrong. We're not getting that value properly into inside. Why like that? We are given ID1 only, no? In here, ID1, ID2, but inside the log it says now we're getting wide. So what will happen? I think it's not. See, both are equal, right? That's why it's got passed. But we should get our values, no? We should get 9 or something. So let's add a debug sampler and last whether see we are getting or not. So debug samples for just display the data of your variables. I mean, if you're getting here and we are not getting printed means our it's wrong in our defined statements. See, we got ID1 9, ID2 9. We are getting the data here, but inside we are not getting it. So there's something wrong with this setup. Understood? Oh, okay, sorry.
I
It's
think
A and
integer.
B. No.
Integer.
It's A. No, it's A and B. What am I assigning?
Okay.
I'm assigning A, right? So I should print A. I should print B. Yeah. Let's see now. See, we got 9 and 9. Okay. Now, if both are equal, what I have written the assertion? If both are equal, if fail equal to false means it won't pass. See, it got pass. So let's change it. Let's put here some fourth match. Okay. to fail the case. So first understand debug sampler what we got. Or we still got ID to 9 only. Okay, but you understood right? How to assertions. Failure equal to true, failure message is the keywords here. In the timer, we return sleep is a keyword. Okay, whatever the condition you can write here to make sure. I mean, it should go to your failure logic, it should go to this loop. That's it. Whatever you can write normal one like bean shell sum everything here, but you have to get to this loop so that it will fail it. If it's a pass case, you have to go first one. That's it. Clear, right? Assertions. So in the entry point, no, they will ask these type of questions only, and after one certain point of level, they know that okay, you're good at like in the first round of our basic things, and they will come to these things. So you should have an idea like how to do and each and everything. Idea should be there. Implementation you can do anything. So you don't worry about the proper exact coding. You should idea okay, I will get these variables, I'll compare. Understood, right? You don't have to write how to compare the code. You can simply Google that one, but you can trial the idea. That's the main thing. And you can say, no, in the interviews, if they are right ask, you can try to write. Let's say I'm not a proper automation tester or fully coding tester. I'm just tester. I'm still learning the coding like that. You can tell them. But if you know the idea, right, that's important. These days, now everything is available in Google, right? So like that only. It's clear, no? Assertion timer, understand the differences clearly. How to use this, how to use that one.
Yeah, understood, sir.
Srinivas.
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay. So let's go to other component. Next concept called listeners. So what is the listeners?
Results.
Yeah. So we're getting the results. So till now, what are the listeners we have used?
We use a tree. We use a tree in table and
Hmm.
assertion, aggregation, aggregate
We aggregate
trees.
report.
Uh,
Yeah, aggregate report. No, till now
report.
there is
Okay.
this three used, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so and again we are running multiple times. If someone asks what is the result of previous one, we don't have it. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So now let's
From low to
understand
younger
proper
with
listeners. Sorry, Srinivas, did you say
Sorry,
something?
sir. No, 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 no. Please ignore it, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, listeners is helpful for in the geometry for results, reports, graphs, and everything. Okay. So till now we discussed about everything on the coding, I mean scripting and geometry scripting, right? We haven't discussed about the final report which we'll share to clients. The final report which we can share to everyone so that they can understand the what the issues are, right? So let's discuss that part. Let's take this one only. So VResource tree will help for debugging purpose only. So till our script is finalized, like correlation, assertions, everything, coding, everything done. Till that time only, for single or two users or five users, you have to VResource tree. Because of VResource tree take a lot of resources from your machine. So if you keep 500,000 and if you like in the GUI mode, right, and you add VResource tree, it will take more memory. If you want, you can disable the VResource tree in the UI. I mean, any listener disable and you can run in the UI. It will take half of the memory also. Okay, so why VRegister will help us for what we are sending, what we are getting, how whether we are getting real time data or not. All these things are helpful, like writing expressions, everything. Okay, and here in this only we have different type of options to showcase what we have to get here. Okay, so we'll just treat it for debugging purpose. So once you're done with the three, then we have to go for other listener. For as I told you, right, for initial things, we can use VRegister table. VRegister table is like displays single request, only metrics. Okay, so in the metrics, let's understand first what are the metrics. Let's understand VRegister first only. Okay, VRegister, what how many tabs we have? We have three tabs: sample, result, request, response. Okay, request is what we are sending, response is, and sample result we are getting our performance metrics. Why you are doing all these things, right? Yeah, we're doing to know how long your response time of their application, how it's behaving, what is any error percentage. Those things, correct? Right now, let's see. So for here, sample start means sample result. What we have sample start means this is the time it got started, the request. Okay. Next thing is load time. Load time is nothing but response time. So in JMeter we have four or five keywords. This all represent response time only. Load time, average time, response time. Okay, these all belong to response time only, right? And by default, everything in geometry is milliseconds. So what is the number here? Load time. What is the number?
236 milliseconds.
So it means our 0.2 second as
Zero
a
point
response time.
0.2. Uh,
Okay, yeah. Connect time is 0. So this is also one of the parameter which contributes to our load time. Okay. So we'll discuss in the variables table. Okay, what is the latency? In first classes we
yeah,
discussed latency.
yeah. If the server is other areas like US or London or somewhere, and we are
Hmm.
accessing from India, so the distance between the server and the client,
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a definition only,
delay,
but not
uh,
exact definition. Okay. Yeah, it's like a delay, network delay.
delay.
First you have
Uh,
to do network delay. So the network delay will comes as a latency, right? So here latency is 24. So this latency is also part of your response time. What are the two statistics is coming, right? It's a part of this connect time plus the latency. Okay. If your connect time increases now, your response time will increase. Right. Okay. Now size in bytes. So what is size in bytes? Size in bytes involves whatever data we are sending right to server. That payload we call size in bytes. So by default it is in a bytes only. Bytes is nothing but here this is 31 KB, right? 31 KB or not? 31,000 bytes means 31 KB, right? 31.8 KB. So that's very nothing. But when you are uploading a file, downloading a file, or uploading any data, or uploading very big JSON payloads or XML payloads, and then you will see this size. Okay, so this size represents as okay, whatever sending is correctly going or not. Same as like sent in bytes. Sent in bytes means from the server. From server, what we got here? We got this one JSON only, na small JSON. So for that JSON, we got a 60 bytes. So 160 bytes. Same, if you are downloading a file, right, very big data files, you will see that more number here. So most of the times in our testing that we can ignore these two, but you should have a bit idea. Okay, and next thing is you can ignore other things. You can next thing is response code and response message. These two are important. And even though if developers are giving directly 200 even the error cases, then you have to check the response and validate it. So you simply can't believe the 200. Okay, if I got 200 means my scripting is correct, my application is correct. No, you have to check the response, then only you should believe whether you're getting a current and response or not. Because we have seen, right, a lot of times even the small errors they throw 200, but that it will be display error and it could not log in like that. But you have to be very careful because JMeter will pass default if it is 200. If it's not 200, JMeter default will fail it. Okay, okay, JMeter will default fail it if it's not 200, right? Yeah. So now these are the common, but this is not a easy way to read, right? So what we'll do, we'll add a variables table. If I run same thing, we get a same thing in a proper one. I mean, to easy readable way. Start time, thread group, label, this is a sample time. So, okay, sample time is also response time. Sample time, average time, load time, response time. The four call response time only. Okay, they define in milliseconds here. And the status based on 200 or not, it will display the status. Again, bytes, size, sends bytes, lattice connect time. If you see here, the first time, it has connect time, and second time it's 0. Can you guess why it is 0 for second and third? Why it has some value in the first time?
First time it trying to load the page.
No. Srinivas,
What, sir?
why? In the connect time, we have 725 in the first row. For other rows, it's 0. Why? See, I'll tell you. The connect time is
Um,
nothing. Mm,
maybe it's a total time, I guess. No.
yeah. So it's like,
No.
say, whenever, yeah. So whenever server is client is connecting server, right? The first time it will establish handshake. Okay, it
Yeah.
establishes one TCP connection. TCP connection are called handshake. So in the handshake, it will try to understand what server is needed, and server will also say this kind of need in this format. Just second, just second. Okay, server is needed in this format. So for that time, it will take some time. So for second and one, if you are using the same channel, right? So it won't require because it's already connected. It uses existing resources. That's why we will see first time connect time is 725 something, and next time is normal. If I give some time, or if I refresh the page or something, I know again you will see that value because that is done. The connection is channel is closed. So again we have to establish connection. So let's see. Let's run it again and see. So again we got it. And same as if I giving a run with the three users, now you will see for every each user it will see first time. Let's understand. Understood? See, user one, user two, user three. Because each user is in each way, right? So for every user it will take establishment and do that. And if you observe same thing, your response time increases due to the connect time. See, the connect time is increased, so it's a part of latency, and due to latency, sample response time increase. Same way, second. So if you see there is no connect time, and our latency got decreased, and our response time also. So connect time is also should be responsible, but it should be in limits. So whenever you're dealing, right, you have to check all the things. No? So connect time also it should check whether it's really taking long time or it's okay. Okay. Sample time, okay, latency and connect time. Clear not
Sir,
till this thing.
how we can know, sir, that connected time will be wrong?
No. So if you see, this for I given three users, right? So if I'm running for 100 users, if it's same value, that's okay. But the value is increasing along with your users count. So 100 you see some more values. Like let's say 2000 you saw, and 200 you saw 4,000. So it's like increasing, right? Unless it's blocking your traffic. So mostly it won't be
Okay.
there because by default it is very less. Yeah, but you have to keep an eye on that one as well.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So till this V resistant ray, we what we need to concentrate is we have to concentrate on the response times. And if there is an error, it will display errors. Okay. Now we have to go for this is if you see a V resistable, it will display each and every result. Suppose I have 100 APS, I'm running for 100 users. How many endpoints I will get? In my script, I have 100 endpoints. Okay, and I have 100 users. I'm running with it. So how many endpoints will get at the end?
Okay. Can you repeat, sir?
I have 100 users.
Okay.
Okay, in my script, I have 100 APIs.
Okay.
Okay, or 100 endpoints. If I run the script, how many transactions will see after the end?
100 into 100, sir. 10,000.
100 into 100, 10,000. So it will
10,000.
display all 10,000 here. But if you are running for that much of load, right? We can't look each and everything, no? Right? We can look for
Yes.
10 or 20, or if you look for is the error, or if they look for highest response times, right?
Yes.
That's where we got other listener called aggregate report.
Okay.
Add listener aggregate report. So aggregate report itself name is there, right? Aggregate means it will aggregate everything. So how it will aggregate? It will aggregate by the name. It will combine all the data with the same request name. Okay, so suppose I have how many different unique names are there in the request one, request two, right? So it will combine all request ones and all request twos and display the data. Okay, let's see. What happened? See, all request ones combined and all request twos combined. Then it took the some metrics and displays here. So first thing is we have to report this one, and if there's some similarities here and you have to, some issues are there, then we go to Visual Table to analyze it. Understood, right? So this is very, very important because this is the first report which you'll be sharing to the client, and you should be knowing all the fields from here. This is the only report first thing. If you understand this report, you understand half of the performance. Okay, from the metrics, because see, till now we concentrate only on the scripting side, right? Most of the classes. In the first class only we discussed the basics. And again, this report will take care of that. So everyone, so most of things, right? You can't expect everyone knows the performance metrics there. So they will ask, okay, what is this field? What is this field? What is this field? So you should be able to explain the things to them. If you don't know it, how can you can explain to them? If they say why this field is impacting like this, why this value is changing, okay, right? So this is a very important listener which has all the things. So let's go to one by one first. So what is samples count? Samples means
Request, sir. API request.
yeah, how many times it is
Yeah,
there.
it is.
Okay. So what is the user number are given there? What are users? I given
Users
three, right?
three.
Three. That's why we
Yes,
got
sir.
three.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So total. So I kept debug sample also. It consider that one as well. So total we got nine. So
Okay.
this total field is nothing but this whatever this individual column is doing, that same thing will happen to all. Okay. Yeah. Now next is average. So average load time, response time, sample time is all our response time only. Okay. So what is average here? It says 1.3. Correct? Milliseconds, no, by default everything in. Response time. But what is
Yes,
unit?
sir.
Default unit is milliseconds. So 1.3
Uh,
is response second.
yes.
Okay. And if you see here, total 536. Okay, if you see total as 536, so if you submit 1300 and 239, you should get some 1500 change, right?
Yes, sir.
But why you got 536? Because it is the average of these three. What is the here? The column. It's average, no? It
Average.
will do average. So here it is total sum. It is sum. Now here it is
Mm.
average. If you see 239 and average of these three, you got 536.
But if we do divided by two or divided by three, sir, like
Let's check
two
that.
requests.
No, it will be three only. But let's see. So what is average? 1369 plus 239 divided by 3 first. See, 3 only, no? 3 samples are there, right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So this is sum. This total, this sum, this total represents for average. Whatever this one represents. Okay. Right now, let's go to here. Minimum. What is the minimum?
Sir, a
Minimum
quick
of
question here, sir. Sir, I have one question.
Yeah. Yes.
So, I have request one, request two, like that. Say,
Mm.
suppose if you take an example of one end-to-end flow of
Mm.
any application testing, so
Okay.
there could be some. Suppose, for example, 10 APIs are there involved. I mean, 10 APIs are involved in the end-to-end flow.
Mm. Mm.
But for me, only some four or five APIs report, or only four or five APIs are only important for me.
Yeah.
But for to continue to complete the flow of 10 APIs will be involved. But only I
Mm.
want only report for the only five, some important
Mm. Mm.
ones.
Mm. Mm.
Can we do that, sir?
Yes, we can add these reports, na, particular to them.
Okay, but for the aggregate report, is it not possible? Only for
No, no, in
those
the
APIs,
aggregate report we can't.
we
It
can't
what
do that.
if we
Okay,
define the global level, it will do everything.
okay, okay,
So
sir.
now
Okay,
what I'll do now, I will put this aggregate report similar to request one only. So let's say my request one is important. So it will displays only request one data.
okay, got it,
Or
sir.
the other
Hmm.
way thing is whatever you display, right? Next option is save table data. So you can get in Excel and you can filter by request name.
Okay, maybe we can. Yeah, okay, okay, got it, sir.
Mm. So anyway, we can do that. But by default, if it is global level, it displays each and everything.
Okay, okay, sir, got it.
Mm. Okay, yeah. So just give me a minute. Like let's take 1 minute break only. Okay, I'll keep charger. Okay.
Okay, sir, no,
Yeah,
no
just 1 minute
problem.
break. You guys can also just 1 minute break and it will be there.
Yeah, I will just be
Yeah,
on mute.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay. You guys are back. Hello. Shall I start now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We can
sir.
start.
Yeah. Right. So what is the minimum? Minimum of these three. Right. Out of these three variables, what is minimum? Because why we have to look into all these variables? And because we have suppose we are running with 3 users, we have three, but we are running with hundreds, thousands, lakhs. We'll see lakhs number of requests. So with that lakhs, you want to get some number, some understanding. You have to go through each and variable, then only you can understand. Okay. So maximum is out of all three, what is maximum? So why based on these two, right? Minimum and maximum, will get to know whether how our application is behaving. If you see here minimum and maximum are
Screen is
similar
not
only.
share, sir. Screen is
Sorry,
not share. Screen,
screen.
screen is not share.
Acha, acha, okay, okay. Sorry. Okay, it's recording and screen is there. Yeah. If you see now, this minimum and maximum. Okay. If you see these both are near, like 1300, 1400 means your application will perform well. But if you see sometimes, if you see minimum is 8, you will see maximum is 2 lakh. I mean, sorry, for, 20,000 or 10,000. So the what? Because we are hitting same request, right? We are comparing. Same request means same data and everything same. But if you see minimum max very huge deviation means there's something wrong set from server. Got it
His
right?
deviation, sir, where?
Hmm.
Where to check the deviation?
No, if you see minimum is 2 seconds here, let's say it's minimum displays two number
Ah,
and
okay,
maximum
okay,
display
got it. Okay.
10,000. So it
Yeah, yeah,
means
understand, understand.
it means one of the got request as 0.002 and one of the request got 10 second. So if it happens like that, then there is a wrong server because handling of more number of data. Because what we are comparing same request, right? So if the same request is responded to every user, like it will be there with a fraction of millisecond difference, but not like this much of tens of seconds difference. Okay. So now
Yeah, and
same thing
then
next is
that
the
means
error
if,
percentage.
yes, sir,
Hmm.
that means
Yeah. Go ahead.
if the load is increasing and the
Hmm.
difference is becoming more, that means it's a problem with the server, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That means it will not be able to handle if
You
the
handle the
supply.
all the load for each same for all the users.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And error percentage 0 here. Out of three, one got failed. Then you will get error percentage 30 here.
30%. Yeah.
Okay, and in the total, what you'll get again? You'll get again you'll get 30 only because out of three, right? One got failed, so you'll get 30 here. You understood, right? These things. So here also see minimum of minimum, it will taken as 0. What is the minimum of these three? 0. So it displays maximum of these three 420. So these total fill nothing but for corresponding each column it will update it. It's not like sum of every each and everything. Okay, so you can ignore these two received kbps and kb per seconds, nothing but our data transfer. So as we are not dealing with any data, you can ignore it. So next more important is throughput. Initially we discussed, right, what is throughput?
Yeah.
Throughput is nothing but number of requests handled by server in a minute or second, right? The capacity.
Yeah.
Okay, so the throughput should always increase is corresponding with the users. If the users are increasing, your throughput is not increasing means your application is not able to handle the load because it's not taking the I mean it doesn't have the capacity to handle it. So here what is the number we got here? 1.5 second per second. It means at this time in given duration it sent geometry sent one second. Sorry, in 1 second send 1.5 requests. If you take total, it sent 3.9 requests per second. Okay, this is called client throughput, right? Because they are sending a server is accelerating. That's why it got happening here. And it's same again. We have server side throughput as well. Because server we don't know, right? The request will come from different layers. That's why server has a throughput different. But as far as if I'm increasing the users, I should this number as increasing. Okay. Yeah. Now,
This
suppose
number should
here
increase, sir. What you're saying
increase
is,
along with increase a user. Suppose I'm getting 3.9 per second for 3 users. If I do 10, I should get double or triple of this number.
yeah,
Okay, we will discuss more on the next section only in the graphs. We'll explain the graphs. We'll see the differences.
okay.
Okay, yeah. So now we are left with this four, right? Median 90, 95, 99. So median is nothing but 50 percentile.
Yeah.
90 percentile, 95, 99. So any idea on the percentiles? Normally in the real life, not in the relative performance. The percentiles.
I think
If,
out of 100%, they will give 90% result, I think.
like if you see, right, competitive exams, you will be hearing this percentiles. Right? So what happens? No, let's take normal 100 exams. So if you consider whoever has got 90 marks, more than 90 marks, considered as a first class. Okay, 80 marks is as 80 to 90 second class, 70 to 80 third class. Let's say we have defined like that, and all the students are got less than 70 only. So they're all third class, right? Correct. So in that particular subject, a particular class, there is no first class students at all because no one has crossed the 90. Right, that's a normal standard way. But sometimes, but the class should have right first class, second class, third class. So what they will do, whoever has got highest mark, let's say they got 71 as highest in the class, that they will make that as a first class. Understood? That will make as highest. Then they will give the 71 as a first class. Then they go the next 10 10% of set, like say 71 to 61. Then they whoever comes in the end, they will consider the first class. Now 61, 51, second class. So like that they will differentiate it. Because if there is no one is there, no first class, they don't understand, right? That's one example. Second example, if I say we have a class of 100 students, okay, you got 100 students science marks. Okay, if I say highest, you got 99. So can you guess the performance of the class with that highest number? Performance of the students in the science subject, can you guess that based on the highest number? No, right?
Yeah.
No, no,
Yes.
no, sir.
No. How it
No.
is, Srinivas?
Uh,
One
The,
student might be intelligent. He might got 9, so other students can't be intelligent, right? You are not sure till that with number. True. I have only highest mark is there of 100 students of science subject. I have only highest is 99. So with that 99, can I guess the performance of the whole all the students in that subject?
no, sir, you cannot.
You cannot, no. Let's say I have minimum now. So minimum I got 50. Till now I can get that number. I can guess the performance.
No.
Srinivas, understood right now?
sir, I did not understand, but I will try to understand.
No, no. See, I have given a 100 students science marks and I asked you to determine the performance, whether they're really good or not, all 100 students. So I given only two parameters, which is the highest mark and lowest mark. Highest mark is 99, lowest mark is 50. Okay. Now, can you tell me with these two data whether how the 100 students are performing in the particular science subject? They're good, not good. The all 100 are intelligent, all 100 are not good, average. Can you guess that with these two marks, minimum and maximum?
No, 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 we cannot.
Hmm. We cannot, right? Because anything gonna happen in between.
Yeah.
So how to understand the
When,
performance? So then first we have to find first 10% of highest, right? If you have more number in first 10% of highest means, then you say this class is bit good. Out of 100 students, if I say 40% or 50% students are more than 90, then can you guess it now?
Yeah.
Yes, we can get.
Yeah. And I say next 50, let's say first 40 as a 9 more than 90 are there, and I say next other 40 percentage, they are 70 to 80. It means they are still good, right? I means everyone is more than 71, 80% of the students.
Yeah.
Okay, and if I say next 20% is 60 to 70 or 50 to 70, so that's okay, right? 20% people will be there.
Yeah.
Now with it we can say the class is very good performing. Now assume that these are reverse. If you say first 20% people are more than 90, the next 40 are 60 to 70, next 40 are 50 to 70, then you say class is not performing well because you have 40% of students in 50 to 70,
Yeah.
right? So to get this number, I'm saying like this 41, but we should get the number. How will we get that number? We'll get that number using percentiles.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see how this percentage will be calculated and how it will help us. Because especially in the performance of these things, right? Let's see. So let me take a Excel sheet.
I think I have used this in one of the project.
Okay, so let's take a login response time.
Basically, we will calculate how much percentage of the how much percentage of the requests are doing
Good or bad?
what I mean to they're getting how much what response time.
Yeah,
So
because
now
with we have bulk data, right? For bulk data, this will help us. If it is one or two, we'll see manual and we're gonna get to know. But you have lakhs of records, right? Now let's see. So let's say I have common API called login response time. So if I'm running with 10 users as of now, I can simply I have 10 values, right? So identically, I mean in the real time, this 10 should be near. Like let's say 1 second, 1.1, 1.02, okay, 0.99, okay, 0.98, 1.13. How many I have? 3, 6. Okay, next 1.2. Let's say 1.04. Okay, 0.987. Sorry, 0. 1.04. How many values we have now? We got 10. Okay, we got 10 values, right? So let's say these are the response times of login for 10 users. So now with the help of minimum maximum, we'll get few things but not everything, right? So we know, right, how to get minimum and maximum. See how geometry also calculating. Now same thing we are also calculating through Excel sheet formulas only. You know, right? If I give here
min
equal to minimum min of, I need to pass the set, say this set,
range.
yeah, and close the bracket, and so I got 0.98. Same as geometry also doing in the back end, minimum. Okay, but with the minimum helper we not get it, right? So that's why first I want to check 90 percentile. 90 percentile. It means I want to check what is the highest of 90. 90% of the students. Highest of 90% of students.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take how to do percentile means. First thing is you have to select in a ascending order all the values. Okay, and then you have to select 90% of 10 users means ninth value, right? Then you have to check your ninth value and 10th value between. So your ninth value will be a 90th percentile in general. Okay, but here we'll calculate using formulas. So we have formula equal to percentile percentile. Let's see this percentile array, comma, we 90, right? So we have to give 0.9. Okay, see it says 1.12 is my 90% highest. Okay, it means my out of 10, the ninth user, highest of the ninth user is 1.1. Okay, now let's calculate 50. Then only we get to know, right? Whether, because if you see the ninth person is having 1.2, other may having very least values. Correct. 90% is the highest only, right? The remaining 90, 89% people will be in the least values. So to figure that out, we need 50 percentile. So let's do 50 percentile. Percentile set. Okay, comma 0.5, 50%. Or 1.0. Now if you say my 50% is 1.03, my 90 is 1.02, it means it both are good only, right? Because both are having one only near, and that's where our average will come. What is average we do? It's average of each and everything, right? For full last to last, average of, okay, average. So 1.04. Your average, your 50% or 90%, if all are near, then you have very good performance results. But if you see your 50% is low, let's change one value has 4 seconds. Due to some user, it struck, you got 4. Okay. So now if you observe, your 90 is changed, right? And average change. Now if you see your 90 is 1.4 and your 50 is 1.03 only. And average is 1.3. So now there is a very deviation, right, with the average and 50 percentile. So it means few users. I mean, it will eliminate the highest one, right? The 4 user. It got stuck here. I mean, right now let's take 99 also, because in the performance we everything is a matter, and we have more and data set. So that's why we have to consider 99 as well. Let's take 99 to much better understand the pattern. Equal to percentile 0.99. This is 3.7. So there is clearly difference, right? All the numbers 90, 99, 50 and average. So it means there is something wrong with this data. The last 10 set or last 1% of set is having highest data. So that's why in performance, right? Most of the time, most of the clients, they instead of considering average, they consider 90 only. Why? Because there is a issues with the last 10% of users who got struck. That's why they consider 90. Because if they consider average, na, because of this highest value, one of the highest value, it got changed. So now if you see like these things, your 90 is 1.4, 99 3.7, and average 1.3, there is something wrong with the data. It's clear, right? Now if I make this one as 4 as normal, let's make as 1. I mean, assume even the green. See, now you've got almost same data. So like this way, percentage will help us. So if you come to JMeter, if you come to here, so what is median is saying is 0.3 to 0.2. Your 90 is 1.3. Okay, 95, 1.4, 99. So these are, accept median, these are good. 90, 95, 99. Because of our connect time, these values got increased. Now let's run the same thing with some 20 users. Okay, and I will do, because I'm getting debug sample as 0, right? So that also will dominate. I mean, the calculation will change. So let me run now. Because 0, no, everything will be extra. One thing. So let's run it. Okay. Now if you see here, your 16, 16, 16. So these are 3 are good. So whenever 3 is good and your average is okay, then you say your test is fine. But when you see your 99 in like 3 4 seconds here and your 90 and other things are less than 1 or 2 seconds, it's not a good sign. So with this help of report, you can clearly figure out the pattern. See, by looking into one time, you won't understand. So now I run with 20, right? Now I run with a 50. Then I'll get some different number. Now I can see how it is deviating. And I run with 100. I'll get one more set. I will compare these three sets. Then I'll get to know how the patterns are changing. Okay? Understood, right? The percentiles. So without any server side, with the help of these metrics, we can clearly figure out how your application is behaving.
So if our managers ask, out of 90, 95, 99, which should be considered and which is correct. So
I
we
mean, no,
have to
generally we
mention it.
consider 90
Uh,
as a
uh,
standard. But why you have to
okay.
check other things also? If see
Uh,
now, so in Excel sheet, what happens if out of 10, if one user got has a wrong value, say 19 is changed drastically.
okay.
But in the real time, we are doing lakhs of records. So
Mm.
to get the differentiations of all the things, that's why we need to compare all 95, 99, 99 as well to understand. Because when I have more data, right, we have now more filters.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the only filter to help us to track how the numbers are behaving.
Mm.
Okay, let's clear that out.
Okay. If error is there,
Hmm.
sir, then how it will calculate?
So if error is there, right, obviously your response time will be more because of it will
Mm.
keep on waiting, then it will fail. So at
Mm.
that time, you shouldn't consider all these things. First, you have to correct that error, then you have to come back.
Okay.
Because by default, error is there, all our response times are very high.
Mm.
Hmm. Okay. So any doubts with this aggregate report?
Okay, fine, sir.
Srinivas?
Yeah, understood, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to one more other listener summary report. Okay. Summary results are the same except we'll get one more field called standard deviation.
How much
Okay.
what time you tell the class, sir? You take the class?
I will take half an hour more.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Because it's late for you, right? Otherwise, I'll talk to take 1 hour. But
Okay, okay, thank you.
yeah, it's for late, and that's why I'll take half an hour more. Yeah. Okay. So this summary report will give everything metrics as per the thing, but only extra is standard deviation. So why this deviation is required? Because when you're running for, I told you initially, for same test now, we'll repeat the test for 2 3 times to get a proper average, to get proper things. At the time, to take the best of the three or best of the two or average of all three, this deviation will help us. Okay, let's see. So what is deviation normally? What is the deviation? In normal differences, right? What is deviation?
Delay.
Deviation nothing but no.
Yeah,
Suppose you expected 5 seconds, you got 4 seconds. The deviation is 1 second,
1 second.
right? So that's a deviation. So in the performance, because every time no, numbers will vary. So how much these numbers are varying? Whether is there a huge difference or a low difference? Because we'll run 3 4 times same time, right, with a like release or patch like that. So we will get to know this 99 they are changing, but we are not sure how much they are changing in internal. Correct. So that's where we call standard deviation. So for standard deviation also we have formula. Let's say equal to std va stdv. Standard nothing but it will check the difference between each and value. If they are all very near, right, each and everything, you will see less number because each they are all belong to same response time. Na, you will see zero point 0.9. But whenever there is a gap of these numbers, like one is 5, one is 4, very then your deviation will be high. So you have run 1, run 2, run 3. Run 1, run 2, run 3, let's see. So out of these, I want to pick up the best or I want to pick up the average with the help of standard deviation, I can do that. So the records which are having a low standard deviation means they are good, because low standard is nothing but they are all in a near to equals. So let's make this as a 1. It's much more difference. See, you got 0.006. It clearly says that they are very near. I mean, all the response times are same around. Okay, so first run you see this number, and second run a number got increasing. So your deviation also increasing. It means your response times individually also they are getting increasing one by one. Ideally, what is expected? You are hitting the same login for all the users, so you should expect the same response time. But if you're not expecting the same response time, means there's something wrong with the server. It's not able to handle the load. Slippers, slippers. Right? So that's standard. Now let's see. Let's run now. So let's say we got standard 614 because I have 99103, right? Very big reference. Now second time I will run. Let's run. So let's remember 614 as the first time. Second time I'm running it. Yeah, we got 618. So it's almost same. So in that case, it's fine. Otherwise, then we'll take average. Otherwise, we'll take which has the best one. So whenever there is a difference between each and every value, your response time will be higher. Okay, so this is one of the parameter which can helps us. See, these are all things, why we are concentrating on much more, because we are not having with the server and we are doing this. Now see, now there's something went wrong. We got 3475. Earlier what we got 600. So now there's something issue with one of the users because of this number. And if you check aggregate report, if you see clearly, yeah, 99 is 220 to 941 and 95 175. It means one of the user or 1% of the user or 5% user are having the highest response times. Means they got stuck somewhere. So when you see these things, we have to report to developers, because this is not a expected way issue. Okay, it's clear, right? Aggregate report, summary report, aggregate report percentiles and throughput, and summary report the standard deviation, and view results report is connect time, and view results is the latency, so response time. Understood till now?
Yeah.
So now let's add one more listener to understand all these things in a graph format. Add listener, listener, uh, graph results. Okay, so let's take the Excel again to understand the pattern. Okay, so I have 3 rows: users, response time, throughput. Okay, so let's run for one user first. Okay, same script. Here we'll get a same data but in a graph format. Okay, so this only one user, right? That we have seen much data. That's why we see some some very small dots. Okay, so let's note down. One user, right? What is the response time? It's a 889. Correct. Throughput is 1.1 per second. Okay. Now let's run for 10 users. So before running, right? I'm expecting my response time should be same, and my throughput should be around 9 to or 8 to 10 requests per second. That's what my expectation, because whenever increasing user, throughput should increase. Okay, let's understand and see whether really working or not. Okay, given 10. Now we'll see little bit graph. Okay, see what the graph, but again still it's low value. Let's run. What is response time? 939. Throughput 444 per minute in the seconds. 7.3 per second. Understood, right? Minutes it means nothing but we'll divide by 60, you'll get second. Now it's good, okay. Because we expect 8 to 10, but it's reached 7.3. And your response deviation is very low. Right now, if you run with 100, if you should see same response time and should see around into 10 times of it. Into 10 times of it. Okay, let's run with 100. Now you will see the graph. Okay, it's done. Now let's see. Average is average, right? 116. And the throughput is here in a minute. Let's go to aggregate report to get in seconds. So 35.9 per second. Ideally, you should see right around 8 to 10 times of it. Okay, but still our response time is in a limit. That's okay, right? So now this way we can get the no pattern how the behaving. As we are doing a dummy application, right? It will work like this, but in real time you will see differences. If your response time increases along with users, so that's not ideal case. For one user, for 1 lakh user, you should get a, I mean, not exact range. Suppose you get 899, you get around 1 to 2 seconds. It's not like I'm increasing users, so response time should increase. In that case, our server is not handling the load properly. In same way, throughput is nothing but what is throughput? Throughput is the capacity. So whatever we're sending, server should handle that. If it's not handling means your throughput will decrease slowly. Even though increasing users is not able to handle, your throughput will decrease. Okay. So now if you observe this graph, so why we are discussing graph here is we observe, let's remove the data, we got don't get data, and there is a median. Let's remove this median. Okay. So if you see average, what is average? Blue graph, right? So why it is started from top to low? Any guess? The response time, why the graph started from high to low?
Connect time, based on connect time, sir.
No,
Like,
no,
and
no. For every 1 user also it has some value, right? It's not from
yeah,
zero. So it has some value. That's why it starts from high to low. And if you say throughput, green one, it starts from low to high. Because for one user it has 1 second. For 10 users it has 10 seconds like this. So that's why the graph will increase. Okay, and deviation, see red one. So if deviation is suddenly jumped here, means there's something wrong with the values. That's why the value got jumped. Okay. Now let's put a 1 minute duration. Okay. Let's understand how it works. 60 seconds, right? 100 users. Because in the interviews they will give you a graph and they will ask you what you understand on the graph. Or in your client or explanation, if they know why the graph is looking like this, you should be able to explain. That's why we are discussing this. So 1 minute and 100 users, right? We have more gap. Okay, okay. What happened? What happened? It got immediately exited, right? It didn't execute 60 seconds. Oh, 60 seconds. Why? Acha, okay, okay. I told her initially, if the working time is less than 60, it will take that time. So I will keep infinite so that it will get a proper data. Okay, in JMeter, okay, this graph, right, it will come to end here. If it come to end now, again it will start from scratch. I mean, it will come from the starting point. Okay, we'll understand slowly. So now what is happening? See it coming from here again. Hmm. No, no, let me put a 20 seconds, okay, first, so that I can explain it clearly. The graph. I mean, we'll get to know the breakpoint here from the graph easily. While doing stress testing, right, to find out what is the maximum number of users it's working. Okay, if you see, what is your response time? Response time like this one, right? the blue one, and your throughput is this one. So whenever your throughput is fixed now, your response should be a stable constant, or should decrease a little bit, not increase. But whenever you see if response time is breaking this throughput line, that means your response time got increased. And same time your standard deviation also will go increase and the throughput decrease. At that point you can say that's a breakpoint of application. You can see the numbers here and you can see, okay, how many, see till now we triggered 2700 samples. Okay, so now till it's good, but whenever you see this blue line is crossing above and throughput is getting down and the standard deviation is going up, then it says it's a breakpoint. And simply stop the test and see the numbers when it's where it's breaking. You understand now? Graph, the blue
That
graph
means the
mainly because
users are
hmm,
failing, sir. If the break,
yes,
if
yes,
it is
yes.
breaking, users are
Server is not
failing.
able to handle. Yeah, it's
Okay.
failing. Yeah,
So everything should be in the same line
same line or low,
or
but
low.
they shouldn't cross. The throughput and response time shouldn't cross here. See, if it's coming down means what is happening? Server is not able to handle a load, it break down, or that's why the load is increasing. And server is not able to handle load, so it will take time to process the request. So response time will be high.
Okay.
So that's where the cross pattern will happen. Okay. Now let's disable this graph. Okay. So now if I ask you where is the 20 result set? I don't have any data, right? That's where you have to give a write results to file or read from the file section. This section is common to all listeners in JMeter. Let's go to aggregate report. See, same. Summary report, same. You can put one file in any one of the listener. You don't have to put same file in all the listener, like summary one, aggregator one, graph, nothing. Everything in one single format only. Wherever you keep, right? Suppose I'm saving the file in summary report, I can open in the aggregate report also. I can open table, I can open the graph. It is single one. Any one of the listener you can pick up and save this one. So let's say I giving 100 users dot JTL. JTL is nothing but output of your result file. JMX is nothing but a scripting file. Okay. So if I don't give any file path here, it will save in the bin folder default. Okay, let's run now. Okay, it's done. Now if I open that file, see you got a bin location. So I open Notepad plus plus to understand better, or you can note in Excel. It's not. Okay, we'll get all the things. So why? Because see why it is working for any other lesson? Because it will say in the raw data. So with this raw data, right, it will work anywhere. Suppose see, let me clear and let me go to aggregate report or graph results. Let's go to graph results. Let's browse whatever we saved. Which version bin we are using? 5.5. 4. Okay, with 100 US dots. Sorry. See, we got only the green ones throughput. Oh, no, not sure. Okay, let's open same thing in a aggregate report. Okay, we got all that because everything is saving in a draw format. So any listener can you can use it to get the data. So every time you have to be remember while using GUI, you have to remember you have to give the file error or non-GUI, right? We given -L, the listener file. So you have to for everyone. I mean, once you're done with the debugging, one you start for 10 or 100, no, you start keeping the noting the results so that it will helpful in the future analysis to compare to get the data. Okay. So now if I open, let me open this 100 JTL in Excel sheet. Let's put all files here. Okay, 100.jtl. Okay, so initially in the comma separated, right? We have to separate. So we have to go here, delimited. Okay, delimited. Just click on next and put a comma and see separate because everything is a comma, right? JMeter by default generating. Click on next, finish. So you got all the data. So from this also you can filter what are the requests you want or what are the things you can get here. See, you got everything. So now, but this is very bit confusing, right? I don't record all these things. I want only few. So that's where I have option to configure. See the configure. So just click on configure. I can select whatever I think I want. By default is all checked. So if I want one few things, right? I can check, just uncheck it, and I can rerun it. It will get a those things on. What are the fields you unchecked here? Na? I mean you checked here, they will get that one. Okay, so that you can configure. But if you want to use other listeners, I mean anywhere at any time other listener, na, you have to use default one. Because if you uncheck everything, na, and other listener may expect at that field, and if you uncheck it, that won't be loading properly. So if you're getting confused, you don't want it, I can do that. Otherwise, you can put a default configuration. Okay. And if you see one more session called log display only, error successes. So I want to use UI, but you know, right? If you're running with a higher number of the GUI, what happens? You'll get a memory or heap issues. So we have to go non-GUI. But still, if you want to use GUI for some part, then you can use this part. Because if you display errors only, what happens? It will ignore all these things. I mean success cases. So it is saying some memory like that. So it is see now it already file is there. Now it's asking whether appending or overwrite. So overwrite means I will lose all my existing data. Appending means I can append existing data. If I say extending, see it not displaying anything here because there is no failures. Same as my visual history, mainly in the visual history. So I haven't cleared the first one. Okay. Okay, see, not displaying because we are kept only error. So only the case errors. Suppose you want debug, right? So what when is success, we don't worry about, right? When you want failures, only we have to check how it is working. So that's why case and if you put errors on the view registry or somewhere. So to understand the error case only, let's clear now run. It won't display anything. I will put app and see it won't display anything. But error we can do. Why it is? Acha, sorry, I haven't configured errors here. Sorry. Yeah. Let's run it again. Append. See, this is also one of the use case where you want to, I mean, you want to only debug the errors. You can simply keep clear errors. It will. So this section is common to all the listeners. Okay, all the listeners you can use it. So these are the listeners concept. These are 5 compulsory listeners we have to use. We have other graphs also that we'll discuss in the coming classes. Did not clear, right? Listeners, metrics, comparison.
Clear, sir. Only sir, just explain about standard deviation, sir. That one I was
Okay,
confused.
Srinivas. Yeah, Srinivas,
Yes, sir.
clear for you
Yes, sir.
also? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So standard deviation is nothing but
Sir.
okay. Standard is nothing but the difference in each and every value.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suppose I'm hitting the same request for all the things, right? So I'm expecting a least different deviation.
Yeah.
But sometimes due to server, memory, network, no, your numbers will vary.
Yeah.
Yeah, your numbers will vary. So in that case, the deviation will help us. So Sheila, you have to just check your total deviation.
Okay.
Okay. So first run, what is deviation? Second run, what is third run? If the deviation is same, that's okay. But if deviation changes, I mean there's something wrong with the data.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So okay. Let me stop the recording and go to the screen.